So I'm looking at type A versus type B personalities. So I had a moment the other day where I was like, oh my gosh, all this time I thought I was type B, but maybe I'm actually type A. I'm just gonna dive into that a little deeper in this video. Let's talk about it. Hey, my name is Darz. Welcome here. On this channel, we're all about learning, growth, pushing that discomfort. Pushing and expanding that comfort zone. And I'm here to encourage you and show you that if I can do it, you can do it. I'm all about just like sharing the raw journey of it all. And I used to be extremely shy. And I have since become much more confident and comfortable with myself. So I think having grown through that, I also figured out that I can grow in other ways as well. And you can too. So join me, hit the subscribe, hit the like. Let's talk about personalities. So just realizing that my dad, I think, is more type A and my mom is more type B, I think I was very much pulled in both directions. Let's just read through some of this type A stuff for a second, okay? Type A, typically described as competitive, ambitious, and time conscious. Extremely my dad, not me at all. Actually, I don't really know if he's necessarily competitive. I think more males are relatively more competitive than females. Yeah, I could not describe myself as competitive. Ambitious, yes, I am ambitious, but that's probably not the first word you would use to describe me. And time conscious, oh my gosh, I'm so time conscious. I think I had this absolutely drilled into me growing up. It was like, we're so productive with our time. We are just efficient. And like I said in a previous video, I literally would run from my car to the grocery store to get groceries and almost run around the store. Like, you know, you can't really run in stores, but I would like speed walk, get my groceries, run back out to the car. Yeah, definitely time conscious. Okay. Type B, characterized as more relaxed, easygoing, and less driven by urgency. I think I try to portray or like project myself as a relaxed person and easygoing. Driven by urgency, I'm, like I said, super time conscious. I think I definitely could be described as driven by urgency, but relaxed and easygoing, I definitely try to be. My mom is so relaxed and easygoing. I think I get really frustrated on the inside when certain things happen, and I'm definitely not relaxed and easygoing in those moments. But for the most part, overall, like if somebody does something that I didn't like or whatever, like I can kind of just like get over it and be fine. Type A personality characteristics. Type A, often highly motivated, driven, competitive. They tend to be impatient, aggressive, and maybe prone to stress and anger. They are often seen as hardworking and may prioritize work over leisure. Highly motivated, driven, and competitive. I don't think people would describe me that way either. Impatient, yes, I can be extremely impatient in some cases. Aggressive, I don't think people describe me as that at all. Maybe prone to stress and anger, that is definitely me. Again, I think this was kind of like trained into me. And it is very interesting to think about, you know, nature versus nurture. And like, I don't think one is like the way. I think we get both of those things, and we have nature and we have nurture, like the way that we're raised and stuff, and just something that's within us affect the way we are. But hardworking, may prioritize work over leisure. I do a lot of times prioritize work over leisure, but I also want my work to be something I enjoy and that I feel good about. And then, yeah, I do definitely have balance like between work and leisure. So it's not like I'm constantly working. And if I am doing work stuff, sometimes it's more like the fun stuff that has to do with making my work better or something like that. Work style. Type A individuals often thrive in fast-paced, high-pressure environments and are known for their ability to meet deadlines. They may be organized, detail-oriented, and enjoy multitasking. I wouldn't say I thrive in fast-paced, high-pressure environments. I can do okay, but I don't think I wouldn't say I thrive, and are known for their ability to meet deadlines. I definitely meet deadlines. I also don't love to have tons of deadlines. I like a little bit, and so that I can be driven to focus and like complete something. Because if there's no deadline, then you're just kind of like floating around in the wind and you're like, I can just work on this and I can just work on that. It doesn't really matter. But I wouldn't say like high pressure, like deadlines all the time would be good for me. I don't think that would be fun. Maybe organized, detail oriented, and enjoy multitasking. I'm definitely extremely organized. I keep my lists. I like to organize things. I like to put things in calendars. I like to pay attention to the details. I'm extremely detail oriented and I enjoy multitasking. Yes, I'm like constantly multitasking, like if you remember in a previous video, I've probably mentioned it a few times. I don't sit down when I eat generally, unless I'm like sitting down to a family meal. If I just have to eat and I have stuff to do, I will just leave my food on the edge of the counter and walk by, take a bite, go do something, walk by, take a bite, go do something. Or like I'll be helping my kids, like combing hair or feeding them or doing whatever while I'm eating. I'm not generally, multitasking, yes. So for type B personality, characteristics. Type B individuals are typically more laid back, relaxed, easygoing, like I said. They tend to be flexible, adaptable, and patient. They may be less driven by competition and more interested in enjoying the process of work and life. I would say for sure I'm flexible, adaptable, and patient. Again, like I can get super impatient about certain things and I do feel inflexible sometimes, or if I do have to be flexible and adaptable at times, it really frustrates me. I tend to be more organized and I like to know when things are happening and I'd rather stay on schedule or on the plan. But I was raised to be very drop of the hat, let's run. We're going to take an 8-hour drive this weekend. They may be less driven by competition and more interested in enjoying the process of work and life. Yeah, not driven by competition. And I do for sure enjoy the process of work and life. I like the balance. I like the process. I try not to get too much into work or, I'm not like constantly always just chilling out, but definitely like that balance and that process. Work style. Type B individuals may prefer to work on one thing at a time, allowing them to focus and avoid multitasking. Nope. I definitely multitask. That's way better for me, especially because sometimes I'm working on something and I get kind of bored or stuck. And so then I like to hop on to the next thing. So I definitely like to switch it up. They may be more creative and expressive and may prioritize quality over deadlines. That's an interesting one. I definitely am extremely creative and I'm working on being expressive. I used to be, like I said, super shy. So it's like I wasn't really expressing that much, but now much more so. And may prioritize quality over deadlines. I mean, there are times when I would prefer to improve something instead of putting it out there, but for the most part, I'm like, let's just keep going. Let's just put that one out there. We can get better on the next one. Such as my one video per day. I'm like, it doesn't need to be perfect. Let's just put it out there. Sometimes I'm about to publish and I'm like, I could have made that better, but you know what? On to the next one. In essence, the key differences between type A and type B lie in their approach to competition, time management, and stress. Type A driven by the need to win and achieve. Type B focusing on enjoying the process and maintaining a sense of balance. So according to this whole little dive thing, I would say I'm more type B. There are times when I'm type A. There are times that I'm type B. I think in different situations, like maybe social situations, I'm more type B, maybe more work situations, I'm more type A. So it's interesting to think about. And one other thing that someone brought up to me that I thought was extremely fascinating is the fact that if you compare yourself to, say, if I compare myself to my dad, I could be characterized as completely type B, like extreme type B. But if I compare myself to my mom, I could be characterized as extreme type A. So it's all a give and take. Like, who do you compare yourself to? In what situation are you looking at yourself? Like, what are the people around you like and how are they acting and how do they see themselves? Or are they very type A? Are they very type B? Next to someone, you might be one side and next to another person, you might be the other side. In a social situation, you might be one. In a work situation, you might be the other. And I think this applies to so many things in life that we're not necessarily all in one bucket or box that people might put us in. We are so much more nuanced and interesting than just that characterization of ourselves. On the other hand, I did take something called the human design test recently, and I thought that was extremely fascinating. It went like it hit so many boxes for me. It was like, wow, that is exactly who I am and what I'm like. I really love that I came across that, because some ways that it explained myself to me, I was like, that makes so much sense. Like one of them being that I'm a shores person. I love to be on the edge of like a shore, you know, or like at work, I have to be by a window. If I was like in an enclosed room, no windows, not next to a door, not next to any sort of outlet or opening, I would go crazy. So anyway, I highly recommend taking human design. I'll link it down below again. If you're so confused by the results, just throw it in ChatGPT, ask it for how to explain everything to you, how it applies to you, and what you can do about the things that it suggests. Even for my kids too, I put my kids' human design in and I was like, wow, that makes so much sense for this kid, or wow, I get why this kid is like that. Helps to understand your kids better and then treat them in ways that make sense for their personalities. Anyway, I'm very interested in personality types and all that kind of stuff. I think it really helps to learn the different ways that people are and kind of see things from different perspectives. Then we can understand each other better and get along better, I guess. Interesting thoughts, interesting learnings. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.